All right, we got options here with this Roman Reigns situation, so let's break it down and discuss these options. Who should Roman Reigns face at WrestleMania now is the big factor. The Rock has come back and teased it. Cody Rhodes, deserves it, and people want to see it happen. So who should it be? You could do a couple of things. You could have, The Rock and Roman Reigns fight at the Elimination Chamber, which I think would be fine. And then you could have Roman and Cody main event WrestleMania again, for night two and have Cody finish the story. That's one option. You could have The Rock and Roman Reigns main event WrestleMania night two and then continue to have Roman champion after WrestleMania, taking the gamble of, piquing the fans' interest that they'll still care enough about Roman as champion and that you could still provide a good story with the Bloodline storyline to also pique the fans' interest, to want to invest into it still. And then on top of that, you have to push Cody's, finishing the story for him even further out, which, is also a huge gamble. You could do a triple threat at WrestleMania. I've seen people throw that out there. You could do Roman Reigns versus The Rock versus Cody Rhodes at WrestleMania in a triple threat. I mean, that would be interesting. I don't think they should go that route, and I don't think they will go that route, but that's just a theory that I'm throwing out there because I've seen people, discuss it. Let me pick your brains for a minute. What about one theory, one twist that could shake up a lot of things, make it interesting? Now, before I say what I'm going to say, before you make your judgment, just listen to what I gotta say and then give your thoughts afterwards, okay? Some of y'all may like it, some of y'all may not too, but just hear me out, okay? Just listen. What if you had Cody Rhodes versus Roman Reigns in Australia at the Elimination Chamber, and shockingly, what if you had Cody Rhodes beat Roman in Australia at the Elimination Chamber? Because I feel like at this stage, a lot of us really only believe that Roman is going to lose at WrestleMania. But if you had a big twist and had Cody finish the story in Australia and beat Roman Reigns, that would be a big shock factor right there, and the crowd, I think, would go ballistic. Stay with me. And then you could set up Roman Reigns and The Rock for the main event of WrestleMania, because there are people who believe this is a WrestleMania match only, and there are also people who believe that this match doesn't need a championship involved. I've seen people say that. Rock and Roman doesn't need a title involved. Well, if Cody were to beat Roman at the Elimination Chamber, you could do Rock and Roman Reigns, and it's about who's the head of the table, right? Who's sitting at the head of the table? Who's the real chief of the tribe of the family? That's what the story's about, right? So you could do that match right there, no championship involved, and you still get it at WrestleMania. And you're thinking, okay, well, who can Cody Rhodes face at WrestleMania? Randy Orton. Randy Orton, Cody Rhodes also makes sense from a story aspect because they got history from Legacy. Randy Orton was once Cody Rhodes' mentor, and now Cody Rhodes has reached the level that he always wanted to be when he was watching Randy Orton, saying, you know what, I want to be like that guy. Well, now Cody Rhodes is that guy. He is there. And if you have him face Randy Orton, it's like student versus teacher, okay? This is Randy Orton's, big coming back at WrestleMania since having back surgery, and this is Cody Rhodes' first big challenge to prove, okay, can he beat the guy who mentored him? Can Cody Rhodes prove that he's really ready for that spot? Because he beat Roman Reigns, but can he beat Randy Orton on the biggest stage of the year? I mean, it adds up from a story perspective. Cody beating Roman to achieve the goal for his father's legacy and his own legacy. Because I've seen people say, well, why does Cody have to, beat Roman? Why can't he beat any other champion? The whole concept of the entire story for Cody coming back to WWE was to win the one title that has eluded his family's legacy and the one title that his dad couldn't win, which is the WWE Championship. That is the title that Roman Reigns has. So it's the only title that Cody needs to win to finish the story that he's been telling for the last 2 years. And if you have Cody beat Roman at the Chamber, I mean, I don't think a lot of people would see that coming because, like I said, I think a lot of people would only believe Roman could lose at WrestleMania. But if you have it in Australia, because they're trying to do big things and I think have more shows over there, you have a big moment like that for the crowd in Australia, that's huge right there. And then The Rock, has already teased, sitting at the head of the table, coming for that spot for Roman. And I feel like a lot of people only believe that's what the story aspect just needs for that match right there. People believe you don't need a title involved in that. It doesn't really need a long build-up because the story's within the bloodline right there. Who is the right person to sit at the head of the table? Who's the right person to wear the Ula Fala to call themselves the tribal chief of the family? So that story right there adds up. Doesn't need a championship like people said. You still got that big match at WrestleMania, which there are people out there who believe that is a WrestleMania match only. Boom, you get that. And then if you insert Randy to face Cody at WrestleMania, it's not like that don't add up either because the legacy in that story adds up as well. No pun intended. Randy Orton was the mentor of Cody at one point, like I said. Now Cody is top guy. Randy just came back. Okay, now Randy's going to find out if Cody really is meant to be top guy. Can you beat me on the big stage with that title on the line? I mean, I'm not saying they'll go that route. I highly doubt it, but I'm not gonna lie to you. I can't say that I would hate it. I honestly think I would like it a lot if I'm being real with you. Like, it adds shock factor. Roman losing at the Chamber. Who can see that coming, right? And you still get Rock and Roman at WrestleMania, which, people believe that it's a WrestleMania match without a championship involved. And then if you have Cody Rhodes face Randy Orton, that's must see right there. And that really doesn't need to be a main event of WrestleMania because Cody and Randy could be a top match on any card. So you get Rock and Roman at WrestleMania in the main event, because that's going to be the main event right there if it's going to happen at WrestleMania. And then you get Randy challenging Cody. Cody's already finished the story, but now he's got to prove himself as champion going up against the guy that was once his mentor. Listen, I think that's a win-win for a lot of people. There are people out there who are tired of Roman being champion. He's no longer champion. There are people out there who believe Rock and Roman is a WrestleMania-only type match that doesn't need a championship involved. Boom, you get that. And then you have Cody versus Randy, which is a match that I think people want to see at this stage too because of the legacy history that they have together. Boom, you get that as well. I mean, I think it's a win-win scenario for a lot of people. Now, the odds of it happening, come on now, like slim to none. But I'm not going to lie to you. I like it. I like the scenario, man. It adds everything you could add to it. Shock factor, pure storytelling. Everything you could ask for, honestly, it's right there, honestly. I honestly like that scenario. I've heard some scenarios. This is one of the best ones I've heard right here. Like, I've heard some other ones that were just, not really that good, I'm not going to lie to you. But I let people, have their own opinions. They can think what they want to think. But this right here is one of the best ones that I've heard that I'm like, you know what? If it were to go this direction, I wouldn't be mad at it.